as communicators, we know that it's very difficult to get a complex idea
Yes.
out to the
Yes.
general public through the means of any type of media, whether it's legacy media or even
Yes.
modern media, social media, digital media, because people have a very short
they've
attention
been
span.
trained to have a very short attention span.
And if it doesn't actually affect their ability to survive day to day,
That's
it's
right.
not really a first order priority.
Yes.
But it is a first order priority in the big scheme of things,
Yes.
because we have to keep the government's job is to keep people safe.
Absolutely correct. And, just to your point, if you're under 40 years of age, the most likely source of your news media is TikTok. And we know
who controls TikTok.
Controls TikTok.
Yes.
And, the notion of misinformation and disinformation, comes to the forefront. And, the thing that we really have to get used to in this modern era is that, and this is my opinion, this is not ASPI's opinion, we're very used to the notion of kinetic warfare, but we're in an era of non-kinetic warfare, and we don't quite understand that. And we've been in an era of non-kinetic warfare, so non-violent warfare.
Constant competition.
Yeah.
So there's been no bloodshed.
There's been no bloodshed. And I think that's part of the apathy of society, is because there's no bodies in the street.
Yes.
We too tend to let it go. But, within the context of our nation, Australia, I think, hybrid warfare, hybrid asymmetric, non-kinetic warfare has been taking place for more than 30 years. And I don't think I'm the only one actually saying that.
So we asymmetric warfare is an excellent point,
yes.
because we've seen just in the last few days an amazing piece of asymmetric warfare where Kmart drones have taken out allegedly $7 billion worth of
allegedly one-third of a bomber fleet. Yes.
Of a bomber fleet.
Yes.
And so with that in mind, and also what you've been saying about technology, we're going to have to be very smart and have smart systems to fight the next war or to keep ourselves safe over the long term.
Yes.
So throwing this one out at you, why do we want submarines?
It's it's a very good question. It's a very good question, and I think there's a lot of people asking that question. Submarines and long-range missiles, the two things that the cost of defence report has indicated that's where we're throwing most of our defence spending, and we know that it'll be 10 years or longer, 10 to 20 years before we'll see the benefit of that.
So in effect, when we talk about over-horizon weapons, these are over-the-time horizon weapons. In other words, everything could be entirely different by the time these things even hit the water.
Likely?
Yeah, no,
yes.
Just look at how much it's changed in the last week.
Look,
you are talking the issue of we're still dealing with analog versus this rapidly advancing digital world, and I think that has been the issue of conjecture with the report, is that what we have indicated is that because of this there's a hollowing out, and we need to be thinking beyond the horizon, but we also need to be thinking very much in the immediate and mid-term. And there's plenty I can say on this, and I want to go to AUKUS. And AUKUS was designed with Pillar 1 and Pillar 2. And Pillar 1 is the build, the big pieces of machinery, which is our particularly our subs. And Pillar 2 relates to specifically the technology that we overlay. I actually think we made a mistake in naming them Pillar 1 and Pillar 2.
It gives it a priority, which is
because
perhaps
in Western
out of whack.
society, you've always got to do one before you do two.
Yes.
And so Pillar 2's been left behind. And I think something that we're saying very loudly is we need to bring that to the forefront. We actually need to be doing both at the same time.